Let's go. 29 homeless, but starting over. My comeback story begins. Salutations, subscribers. I am Eli Fortune. This channel is the era of virtue. Now, I created this channel to be a channel that talked about positive news around the world. But what I wanted to do first, before I started posting videos like that, was document my journey on how me, as a homeless 29-year-old, is going to persevere and become successful in life. So that way, when this channel becomes big and you guys look at my old videos, you guys can be or feel inspired. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about a myriad of things about, one, how I became homeless, and I'm also going to talk about how you guys should learn from me and my mistakes. Now, before I start this video, I want to clear up a few things. One, for those who are wondering where I am, I'm not going to give an exact location, but let's just say that people do construction here, and when it gets cold, I sleep in here sometimes. And, today I wanted to make a video in here because, it's convenient. Yes, right now I am currently homeless. About 1 minute away, my weekend job at the gas station is down the street. So I get off work and I go to sleep here about once a week. I do have an overnight shift that Friday at the same job, but I work at that gas station job 3 days a week, which is like Friday to Saturday. No, excuse me, Friday to Sunday. Friday I have a night shift, Saturday I have an afternoon shift, and Sunday I have like a noon to like afternoon shift, which is a very short shift. And during the weekdays, I work a landscaping job pretty much 5 days a week. And when I'm in that area, which is 2 hours away, walking distance, I pretty much sleep outside or in a forest, in a secluded area. I'm not going to give the exact location yet. Maybe in the future I will, when I make future videos. This is my first full video on this channel. I've made a lot of YouTube shorts talking about my homelessness. You guys can check those videos out. I've also made some new videos about documenting my journey on how I'm trying to get in shape. But this video is more about raw emotions, raw, unedited emotions and things that I've been through and how I got here, being homeless. This video may be like 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long, I don't know. Just want to express myself to you guys. But I'm going to lay out, I don't want to say rules, but I want to make things clear. One, I'm not your average homeless guy. I actually work 2 jobs. 2, I am not asking for any handouts. 3, I am trying to get in shape. 4, I am not on any illegal substances, and no illegal substances or alcohol has allowed me to become homeless. I became homeless because I mismanaged my life. What else? Oh yeah, 5, right now I am not currently going through depression. I was in the past, but right now I am not. Let's see. What is the 6th thing? There's one thing I'm missing. Yeah, 6, I don't want nobody feeling sorry for me. Nobody, I want none of my subscribers to throw no pity party. I don't want none of my subscribers to think that I'm throwing a pity party, and I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me. Because right now I'm pretty motivated, and despite being homeless, I'm actually excited, for the future and what the future brings, and I'm trying to get out of my current situation, like actively every day. Okay? In about 4 months, 3 months, my goal is to try to get a car. Okay? Been going on Facebook Marketplace, doing research, about different cars that I may try to get that's durable within a price range. Once I have a car that's durable within a price range that doesn't break on me, which is, I know used cars have like they're going to have their bells and whistles, but at least something that can get me to and fro, and I won't have to like walk, to work ever again, and then eventually pay off a lot of debt, and then move into an apartment at the same time trying to make a career change. So, in a nutshell, I became homeless because I mismanaged my life. Several years ago, I bought a car. It was a Toyota FJ Cruiser 2007 model. I was 23 years old, and I wanted to buy a car to take me to and fro to work. I was living with my mom at the time, and I used to have an old YouTube channel talking about sports, and it did pretty decent for a year. And I made like 2 grand off of a few videos, and I used that 2 grand to put a down payment on that car. And pretty much that YouTube channel kind of declined, and it ended up like failing, but uh, it failed because I mismanaged that channel too. But it was a channel talking about sports, and I used the money to put a down payment on the FJ Cruiser. So I had this FJ Cruiser for about, I don't know, 2 years or whatever. I'll say a year. And I would go to and fro to work to it. But mind you, during this time, I was going through deep depression. Did not like my circumstances in life. And when I get depressed, I get negligent. And when I get negligent, I don't pay attention to the things that I'm supposed to pay attention to, like doing basic maintenance on my car. So one day, I'm like, I'm going to get my oil change. My car is feeling weird. It's making a clacking sound. I'm like, maybe I need to get my oil change. Well, dumbass, it was too late, because by the time I got to the dealership, my car gave out and my engine seized, and they told me that my engine wasn't working, and it was because I had no oil in the engine for a long time. I get more depressed, angry, sad, confused, not knowing why shit like that was happening to me. And mind you, the creepy part about it was just 2 months prior to my engine giving out, I had a dream about my engine catching on fire. And I had no idea what that meant, but I guess it was God and the universe telling me that my car was going to have problems. Plus, I hit a bird, and I look at that as a bad omen, like, what's going to happen? I have to take out a loan now. Mind you, I'm paying for this car, I'm paying this car off. Now I gotta take a loan, so I'm paying 2 things off, a car and a loan, and I have to pay for it to get fixed in a mechanic. Pretty much a $10,000 process. So I get a new engine about 2 months later, have it put in my truck or my FJ Cruiser, use it again for work, have it for about a year, another year. Guess what, mother suckers? The engine gives out again. But this time, not because I didn't put oil in it. When the mechanics put the engine in my car, it was like a faulty engine, like it wasn't a good engine. Should have did my research on that engine. It was a used Toyota Tacoma engine, V6, but I guess when I took it to the mechanic, they said that this time it wasn't my fault, but the 6 cylinder pretty much gave out, the 6 piston or whatever you want to call it. And it gave out, and pretty much I had to get a new car or a new engine. This time I wasn't so depressed. I was just mad, like because I remember that particular year I was actually more meticulous on my car. I was getting it oil changes. I was getting a diagnostic on it. I needed a new catalytic converter on that car, so I'm like, should I like try to hurry and pay it off and sell it away? And I was thinking about different options on what to do with that car. And then when the engine gave out, I'm like, what the hell? Like, bad luck. I was thinking to myself, felt like God or the universe had some sort of animosity towards me. At the same time, I'm also trying to run a small landscape business. I was the only person, and I needed that FJ Cruiser. So I was kind of paranoid. My mom was like, why don't you go to Drive Time? There is a ad that said that I can get a car with decent credit with no down payment. And I'm like, well, I have no choice. I want to cut lawns for my customers and I want to drive to work. I don't want to rely on mommy to drive me to work. So lo and behold, I go to Drive Time, get a white Ford F-150 crew cab, a 2012 model, FX4, nice truck. Now I'm paying Drive Time, the faulty engine on my FJ Cruiser, and my FJ Cruiser. So I have 3 loans plus my insurance. Yeah, drowning in bills. Looking back, well, that was the worst decision I've ever made. I should have never bought that white truck. I should have just like either had my mom drop me off to work or find a job that's walking distance. But mind you, back then I didn't think like that. I didn't think like being homeless has made me more resourceful. Back then I didn't have that resourceful mindset. It was like, oh shit, what do I do? Panic. And this is when I noticed that all the decisions that I made throughout my 20s were very impulsive. There was no thought behind it. It was like, if instead of me thinking and processing how I should strategize on how I should get a car or a job, I would just react based on emotion, pure emotion. And as a man, you should never do that. You should never really do things off pure raw emotion. You should use logic 98% of the time or 95% of the time. And the other 5%, you can use a little bit of emotion. I was going off a lot of emotion. Get this a Ford F-150. Guess what, guys? Engine don't give out. No, not this time. Driving on the highway on 400, Georgia 400, southbound. A lot of traffic. I was frustrated. I got fired from my job. So I got really mad because I'm like, damn, I got no job. Yeah, I have my little landscape business, but it's not like a huge business where I'm making a lot of money. Probably making $2,000 a month or $1,500 a month. And it was heading towards the fall, so that money was going to dwindle away. So I'm like, the money is going to dwindle. I got this new truck. I have 3 loans. I have to pay a house bill and some bills in the house. Bro, drowning in debt. Not only did I get really depressed, but I was in panic mode because I'm like, bro, I'm in my late 20s at this time now. Like I'm 26, 26. And I'm like, I'm going nowhere fast. I don't have the career I want. I'm still doing landscaping, working for a landscape company, doing landscaping on my own on the side. And now I have this, white truck and I'm driving on the highway and I have a tendency to look 2 cars ahead sometimes when I'm driving. I have no idea why. And then I just, boom, hit a car in front of me. Get into a car accident. Get into a mother-sucking car accident. And when I got into a car accident, I'm like, oh my God, because this was the first car accident I had ever had in my entire life, and it was devastating. When I get into this car accident, I'm not thinking about my car. I'm thinking about, is the lady in front of me okay? Because it was an old lady. And I destroyed her car. I just demolished the shit. Get out of my car, check on her. She was discombobulated. Her car hit another car, so it was like a 3-car accident, but the 3rd car didn't get no damage at all, but her car did. Her laptop was stuck in the trunk because I demolished her trunk, so I had to help her get her laptop for work out of the trunk. Call the police, they come, make sure everybody's okay. I'm like, damn, I just bought this truck 2 months ago. 2, 3 months ago, and I already have a car accident. I'm like, for a man like me who loves cars, I just have bad luck with them. I'm like, what the fuck? That day was devastating for me because the bumper of my car kind of hit my tire, so I couldn't drive it. So I had to like pry it away from the tire so I can drive it. Luckily, I was able to drive my truck for another year and a half. Didn't damage my engine whatsoever, but the truck looked terrible. I'm like, damn, I got a nice truck and I ruined it. Put me in further depression. And now I'm just drowning in debt. Drowning in debt. I'm in my late 20s, and I'm still living with my mom at the time. And I'm like, bro, I gotta move out. I'm like, I'm going to live in my white truck. I'm like, I gotta, figure this out. Now let's go back to depression. For the entirety of my 20s, I've been through depressed. Excuse me. I've been through depression. I said I've been through depressed. Throughout my entire 20s, I have been through depression. The entire 20s. And my therapy was calling psychics and just a myriad of things. Watching pornography, things that get me high, things that can get me away from this world because I was depressed. Now, what I'm going to do is, right now, is I'm going to tell you guys why I was depressed. Because the thing about other depressed people that do other people a disservice, when somebody is depressed, they never get into detail about what they're depressed about. And when you do that, it's hard to get the help that you need. But I will tell you why I was depressed throughout my 20s in pure detail. And this depression, led to me being negligent with my cars, and it led me to be, it put me in debt, which ultimately led to my downfall of becoming homeless. Not only that, when you drown in debt and you don't advance in your career and you're still making the same amount, it doesn't make it any easier. It makes the debt worse. Because if I was making great money, the debt wouldn't have mattered. But since I was broke, the only time I make decent money was probably 2022, I think. I don't know. I don't remember fully. Or maybe it's 2024, I think. I don't know. But like I said, when you don't advance, when you do not advance in your career, and you just add debt onto your circumstances, yeah, life gets a whole hell of a lot worse. So the reason why I was depressed throughout my 20s was, one, it was hard for me to find a long, stable relationship with a girl. I'm what you would call a nice guy, I guess. And I guess I'm considered boring. Also not the most attractive, in my mind. That's what I was thinking. Like, man, I got an ugly face. Man, I'm out of shape. Man, I'm this. Man, I'm that. A very self-loathing type of man. And I'm also the type of dude that if I see a guy that's at the top of his game, I have like deep admiration for them. And if they're younger than me, I'm like, damn, this person is younger than me and more successful than me. And I am at this age, and I have not even like done anything with my goddamn life. Depressed. What else? I was also living with my mom for a long time, and I'm like, bro, I'm almost 30, still living with my mom. Like, that felt like shit to me. So at the time, I'm like, how old am I? 27, 28. This is like last year. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to live in my white truck. I can't just live with my mom up until my 30s. Why would I do that? Not a good look at all. Like, I'd rather live in my car than say, oh yeah, I live with my mom and I'm almost 30-year-old man in debt. Felt trapped. I felt trapped. Not only that, my household was becoming very toxic. Very, very toxic. And it was affecting me mentally. And there were times where I tried to express myself, but nobody really cared in my household that much. But it is what it is. Every now and then I would get advice, but advice was very generic. It wasn't like detailed or, thoughtful. You know how when you tell somebody you're going through something mentally and they're like, oh, you'll get through this, or I've been through this too. Like, I hate when people play trauma tennis. Like, if someone comes to me and say, hey, I'm depressed, I'm going to try to focus on you and help you get out that depression. I'm not going to make it about me. And in life, especially with family members play a lot of trauma tennis. You're like, I'm going through something too. I'm hurt too. I'm heartbroken. I've been heartbroken too. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell? This is stupid. I can't stand that shit. So I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Ended up living in my white truck for about a few months. And it was also hard for me to find a job because I quit my other job at FedEx. I shouldn't have done that. Like I said, I do things out of emotion and not logic. I should have stayed at that job a little longer. Because maybe if I did, I probably would have still had my white truck. And I probably would have paid off half my debts. But I didn't do that. What I did was I quit that job and I found a different job driving trucks. No, I don't have my CDL currently. I'm trying to look into get into that. But in this particular time, this job, it was an ad on Indeed. Not really an ad, but actually it was an ad, to be truly honest. And it said drivers wanted, no CDL needed. I'm like, okay. It said all you need is your DOT and what did it say? Your DOT and, eager to work. I'm like, bro, that's me. I want to do this shit. And it was OTR, so I get to travel different states. I'm like, bro, this is a huge experience. I get to go to different states, make great money, and this can get me out of poverty. I can save up while I'm on the road and just pay off my debts and then eventually get an apartment or a house somewhere while I'm working this job. I can when I saw that ad, I'm like, I can finally change my life, get myself back on my feet. I can do what I need to do. I can be the man I need to be before I'm 30. Get this job, the worst job ever. 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 Why was it the worst job ever? Not because I was driving to different states. I love that shit. Driving to different states, that was a fun experience. No. Every last one of my checks were late. Every last one of my checks were late, and I never got paid my last check before I quit. And I'm still going to sue that company for that. Not only that, I parked my white truck at their house because they told me to, or they said I can. And since I was on the road for so long, I come back to use my truck. Guess what? A squirrel eats the wires. Engine gives out. Mind you, I'm still paying on this truck. And I'm gonna be truly honest. I was gonna willingly give the truck up. How do you say it? What do you call it when you allow your car to get repoed on purpose? A voluntary repossession, I think it's called. I was gonna do that anyway, but like I said, the engine ended up giving out before I can even do it. Because mind you, I was overpaying on a 2012 truck that was 174,000 miles. I was paying $700 a month on that truck. It was the worst purchase I've ever fucking got in my entire life. Not because the truck was bad, but who spends $700 a month on a truck that's a 2012 model and it's 2025, 2024? Mind you, like I said, I make decisions off impulse. I know my mom suggested getting the truck or getting the car there, but I should have asked about the interest rates. And let's be truly honest, I'm not the smartest dude. I didn't ask the detailed questions I needed to ask. I didn't ask what the interest rates were. I just heard, 0 down payment. I need a car now. I forgot to also say too, what added to my depression was the fact that I never graduated high school. I was homeschooled, and I always felt like I was behind kids. Now, nobody thought I was ignorant growing up. Like, none of my friends thought I was ignorant. They thought I went to school. So it wasn't like there was no huge intellectual disparity or gap, but it was just me personally. I'm a guy that likes winning, and I like thrive myself on success, but I didn't realize until my late 20s, success doesn't mean rush through things. It means process information, plan out, execute. I'm more like, let's go now, go now, go now, go now, go now. Let's hurry up and do it. Let's hurry up and do it. It was like everything was rushed. And when you rush, you don't know how to get into detail. You don't know how to understand the details within things. So going back to the job, I come home after like quitting that job. I come back to Georgia because I live in Georgia after quitting that job because they weren't paying me. And I'm like, bro, I didn't get my check. So now I'm forced to like pretty much go back to live with my mom temporarily. And when I come back to Georgia, I pretty much couch surf throughout my entire family. And this was a layer I never knew before. And this is not a guarantee, but based on how I feel, I don't think my family members really like me that much. Not because I'm a bad person or I cause like trouble, but since I was going through a lot, not getting paid for my job, on the brink of homelessness, many different members. I'm not going to say who it was. I'm just going to say family members because I don't want to tell you guys too much too early. This is my first full video on this channel and, just trying to express myself. But let's just say family members suggested that I live with them. Once I lived with them, they were just kicking me when I was low. Asking me, do you got a job yet? Are you working? As if I'm like a lazy person that don't work. Like, bro, y'all know me. I'm like the only one in my family that was always willing to get 2 or 3 jobs, I always worked a lot, and people ask me, why did I work so much? So you're asking me, am I getting a job? Of course I am, but I just lost my car. I just quit my job because they weren't paying me the money that they said they were going to pay me, and they didn't pay me my last check. Mind you, at the same time, there was a girl online that I would talk to all the time, and I pretty much got heartbroken by her, but that's for another video in another time. So I was going through so much raw emotions, and they would just like interrogate me to the point where it's like, okay, they don't have their shit together, but it made it seem like, they were perfect, and they saw me in a vulnerable state, and they played on my emotions. So I go through different family members, and I end up leaving. Anytime I stay with a family member, let me speak more slow. Anytime I stayed with a family member, I end up leaving them eventually because they would challenge me or they would make it seem like my energy was negative. And I'm the type of guy, if you don't like me, if you feel like my energy is negative, I'll take myself out the equation. Now, mind you, I'm not a guy that would talk about my problems a lot, but they would just get annoyed if they come home from work and they see me sleeping. You haven't found a job yet? You haven't done my bro. I literally just got in my situation within 2 weeks, and I never asked any of you guys for help. You offered your services. I'm trying to find a job every day, and trust me, bro, like, I'll get a job. Like, I'm not even like trying to like live off of you or be a freeloader. They all did that. So what I did was I left. I'm like, if y'all think I'm a burden or y'all so annoyed by my presence, even though you suggested that I live with you, I didn't ask because I was going to be, when I quit my job, I was going to just, be homeless initially. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just be homeless and like try to find my way. But family members suggested that I live with them. Like I said, live with them, very toxic people. I'm like, screw this shit. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to willingly be homeless, and I'm going to thug it out on my own will and power. What do my family members do? Oh, why are you being homeless for? Why can't you live with us longer? Blah, blah, blah. Like, why the fuck would I live with you guys longer when y'all don't want me here? Y'all are in relationships. Y'all don't want me around you guys. I can tell by the energy, the way y'all look at me. Y'all act like I'm a freeloader. I don't ask y'all for anything. And then lo and behold, I finally do get a job. Then they ask me this question. Are you gonna get a second job? I'm like, bro, y'all moving the goalposts. One, you don't have to tell me to get a second job because I always have done that. But two, it went from being, I don't care if you don't work, I'm gonna take care of you for like a few months to get on your feet, to you need a job, till you need 2 jobs, till how long you gonna be here? What the fuck? And mind you, y'all thinking that I lived with these family members for a long time. Now my mom, I lived with her for, me and my siblings, after my dad passed away, we lived with her throughout most of our 20s. But when it came to my siblings, living with them, I lived with them from 2 weeks to a month each time. It was never longer than that. It was not like 6 months. No, it was like really fast. Did not live with them long at all. They did not make me feel comfortable or welcome. That's why now when I hear family, I'm like, F all that BS. Like, if I ever become a dad or, I pray it's when I'm in a better position, not this homeless BS. I pray I have the resources to build a strong, solid family that, we can lean on each other when we need them, but I can be like the dad that really takes leadership and set precedents and be a great role model within my community, because the shit I saw with my family was unprecedented, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. And anytime I try to express myself, nobody tries to understand me. I mean, look at me. I'm not attractive. I'm not a pretty dude, right? So it's not like, and imagine being broke, black, ugly, homeless, out of shape, single as fuck, and doing the same thing for years, cutting grass or driving trucks, working odd and end jobs. It's not like a really admirable thing. So I understand. So after those events, I just became homeless. I'm like, I will be homeless on my own will, on my own merit. And I planned, this was the first time in my life, and I don't know, they always say your brain develops at age 21. I don't agree with that. I feel like our brains develop throughout our lives, throughout experience, and when we're in like survival mode, because for some reason in my late 20s, like I'm 29 now, I think about things in a more methodical way than I ever have before. So I'm like, okay, I'm homeless and it's cold. And mind you, I have YouTube videos documenting me being homeless, in the cold, and that was not a good feeling. Oh my God. I picked the worst time to be homeless. The worst. Luckily now it's like heading towards spring and summer, and it's it is daylight savings, and it's heading towards the spring, and it's heating up. I love that because I'd rather be hot and homeless than being cold and homeless. And that's why I have to hurry up and buy a car, save up and get a car, because I'm afraid I don't want the ending of the year to happen and I'm in the same boat. That will not be comfortable. I'm also trying to see if I can get my CDL. And I want to accomplish a lot this year. I want to get my GED, I want to get my CDL, and I want to see if I can try to become an electrician, because CDL, I can tell I'm not going to want to do that long term, just driving all the time. I want something more stable that I can build a foundation on and then save money and start a business. But let's go back. Become homeless. Obviously I'm still homeless now, but become homeless. And I'm going through so much emotions, crying every day to myself. Damn, how did I get here? A boy with all these dreams when I was a kid to being homeless. Because being homeless was always my biggest fear in life. Every time I saw a homeless person, I'm like, damn, rock bottom. Damn, I pray that's never me. Little did I know that was my fate. Homeless. Couldn't see, I can't stand it. I was crying every single day, privately. I made sure nobody saw me, but cry. I'm I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, how did I get here? Not only that, I did not feel wanted. I didn't feel wanted by women. I didn't feel wanted by family members. I didn't feel wanted by God. I just didn't feel wanted. I just felt like a vessel. There's a song by a rock band. I can't think of this rock band's name. I'm trying to see if I can find the name. But the song is called Everything Blurry is Just the Same. I probably should sing it, and maybe y'all can type it in. But the song goes like, I should know, but I'm scared I'm right. And then the song says, why do I still feel so lost? Why do I feel like everything is out of place? And then he says, everything blurry is just the same. Pretty much the song is talking about like a man that is pretty much, he feels lost. He feels empty. He feels like he's just blending in life. He's not being seen. So I just felt like that. Like I didn't feel like I was being seen. And I'm like, bro, like I'm invisible. Bad luck. Worst luck in the world. Now I can admit, the first couple of times I was homeless, my mom would bring me food. I ate for like a week, the stuff she got, but eventually I just went, I'm riding solo. I went like, I'm like, hey, I told her like, I appreciate you giving me food, but no more. I'll do this on my own. Like I'm not gonna. At this point, I'm like, I was so done with my family members. I don't want to rely on them for anything. I'm like, you know what? If I get hungry, it's my fault. And there was times, early on when I was homeless, where I was so hungry that I'm like, I had to like go to the gas station and steal some food. Like, I stole a pack of cookies before. One time though, it wasn't a common thing. Only one time, and I'm like, bro, I have to eat. Like, I'm walking around miles a day, trying to find jobs. And this is when I was talking about me thinking more methodical. I ended up finding 2 jobs that were in my vicinity that was walking distance. So I planned it out. I'm like, since I'm gonna be homeless, I'm in a pretty good area. Technically, this area is considered wealthy. I'm probably the only homeless person, or probably one of 2 homeless people in the area. Really, it's a nice area. So imagine being homeless and you see people drive Porsches and BMWs. You're like, what the fuck? You feel like shit. You feel like a dumbass. You feel like a loser. You do. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to use my environment to my advantage. I'm going to take this negative and turn it into a positive. I'm like, I do not want to rely on family members to ever drive me to work ever again in this lifetime. I don't want to ask for favors at all. I'm going to find 2 jobs walking distance. So I found a gas station job and a landscaping job. And I'm like, that was within walking vicinity. Somewhere that I can walk if I have to. And if I get too tired, I Uber or I, use the Lyft. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2 months. Yeah, and that's how I became homeless, right? And this year, the worst birthday of my life. My birthday is, January 2nd, and I had generic texts from my family, oh, happy birthday, but no one wanted to call me at all. That was the first birthday in my entire life where I felt empty. Like, I didn't feel no love, no care. I just felt like a loser. And it seemed like on my birthday, everybody tried to avoid me. And I think that's why I have a fire inside me now, because I'm like, you know what? When people don't give a fuck about you, at least when I get my shit together, I'm gonna get nice things. I'm gonna become in shape, and I'm not gonna bother any of you guys. Y'all not gonna share any of this with me. It's gonna be just mine. And don't call me selfish when I get rich, because when I was in the worst mental state of my life, you all turn your backs on me. Now, it's my fault that I'm homeless because, like I said, I mismanaged my entire 20s. When you're in your 20s, you think you're gonna be in your 20s forever. No, you're not. That shit goes fast. Next year, I'm 30. I already look 30 now, but I'm like, damn, I look like shit. I do. But I do take showers. I do go to the gym. I do my basic hygiene, but it's just, I just feel bad. But yeah, I remember one time I was working. I think my mom had to drop me off somewhere. And she was like, "Oh, you stink." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Bro, I just got off work." Like, family members can be so negative. This week, like for the first time, like I didn't call nobody, none of my family members. I didn't call none of them. Didn't text or interact with any of them. And you can tell some of them felt a certain way about that. I'm like, y'all don't want me to be around, but when I stop calling and texting, I want to. I'm pretty much done with I'm just pretty much done with family in general. Like my family, I'm just done. Like I'm just done with period. Like I'm in such a mental state where I feel purely lonely. But now I'm taking the negative energy and I'm catapulting it into positivity. I'm like, bro, but this is good because now when I get shit, I can just get it for myself, and I don't have to worry about like, how do you say it? Like when I become successful, I'm like, you know what? If I buy a nice car, I deserved it. Or if I get a nice house, I deserved it. And I'll just keep to myself. I don't mind helping people. I love helping people. That's the thing too. Like I like helping people, but I get treated like the worst. I do. In certain circumstances. If you're in your 20s, get a solid job. Like get a trade job, or get a CDL, or if you have the money and resources, start a business and fail now. Build a foundation now. If you're going to fail, it's better to fail in your 20s. Like I once told my mom, better to be homeless at 29 and 28 than at 39 and 38. At least I'm not in my 40s going through this, because if I was, that's a completely different. At least I'm young enough to like, okay, I can turn this shit around quick. Haven't hit 30 yet. I got a lot of work to do. I do. Like I said, in this abandoned construction building where I think is going to become a car dealership, this is my life currently. I am going to get out of this situation. I started this YouTube channel and the subscribers are growing faster than I ever expected. Cause I'm like, originally, I'm like, how about I just talk about just like different stories from different people? But I'm like, wait a minute though, I have a story I can tell people. I have a good story. Like, if I just give people raw emotions and about what I'm going through, I can combine this content with other content that I have. So this is not an everyday thing. Like I said, like, when I make videos, I'm gonna like make positive videos, but I want y'all to look at these videos too and look back like, hey, this guy, like, he's going through something and he's making like videos. He's like documenting his journey and he's giving us good content. But yeah, I'm gonna go live stream today to promote this video here because, like I said, I don't know if YouTube will push in an algorithm or not, but this is my first full video explaining to you how I became homeless. And looking back, I should have bought a car cash. I should have done research on the cars that I bought. I should have taken care of my cars. And I should have not allowed depression to consume me, because had I just stayed positive, I would have found a solid career. I would have still had my cars. And actually, I still have my FJ Cruiser, but it don't work. Like, it's in storage. It don't work. It's just dead, a dead car. But I would have just, how do you say it? I would not be in this position that I'm in. I probably would have had a relationship by now. But when you struggle so much and don't have resources, why bring a woman on? Why bring a person into this pain? And trust me, I've been through a lot of pain. 99% of it is self-inflicted though. It is. But God showed me a lot. Being homeless, I've become more resourceful. I've become more introspective, more knowledgeable. Right now, I'm trying to teach myself Spanish because I want to learn 2 languages. I've been doing that at the same time. Like, I'm going to study for my CDL and eventually become a high-level electrician, like probably an electrician that works in a plant or whatever, or that does robotics. I want to do something that's like a solid career, solid. And I want to have a skill. Like, if anything, more than the money, I want a skill that I can carry for the rest of my life. Like, oh, I know how to fix wires, or oh, I know how to drive a big truck, like, or use big equipment. That's my fault too. The lack of education and the lack of skills, I didn't acquire enough skills in my 20s to get me out of my current situation. All I've done was landscaping and, working delivery jobs. That's not a real skill. You want real life skills. You want a real foundation so that you won't fall as far down as I did. Like, I felt like Lucifer in the Bible. I feel like I fell from, well, I can't say that because Lucifer had grace. They say he fell from grace. I never was even at a high position to begin with. It wasn't like I was a millionaire and I lost it all. More like Job, I guess. Shit was just stripped from me. And mind you, the first day I became homeless, it rained, so my first phone got destroyed. So I had no phone, no money for a week. Bro, I've been through a lot of shit. But that's gonna wrap it up with this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I have to go to work in about 2 hours, so I'm gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts and get something to eat, and then go to work. I'm gonna upload this video. I may go live after I go to work to promote this video. So y'all stay tuned. I know my eyes look a little red. Yeah, I'm sleepy. I am. I don't get good sleep. And I haven't got good sleep in probably 4 years, to be truly honest. But yeah, I'm gonna change my circumstances. Y'all gonna see it. And I'm also gonna I'm also gonna post positive videos of, people doing positive things around the world. I'm gonna document that, so stay tuned. This is the era of virtue. Peace.